as the Secretary General for the Badminton Association of Malaysia, how would you assess the current state of badminton in Malaysia? What are the strengths and weaknesses maybe in the system?
First of all, thank you for inviting. It's an interesting question. Badminton has always been a very strong tradition in Malaysia. We used to win the Thomas Cup in the 50s and the 60s, so we have very strong tradition, and the fans in Malaysia are almost crazy about badminton. So the pressure there's always the pressure to do well in the national team. In Malaysia, we have 15 states. The 15 states is very important because these 15 states is like a feeder. They will feed the young players to the national squad. So as long as there is development program in the states, we will be able to get as many players as possible.
So you talked about youth development programs.
Yes.
What do you think are the differences between the Chinese system of youth programs and Malaysian youth development programs?
Badminton is also have a lot of interest in China, and I believe badminton is a very important sport as well in China. But of course, the difference between China and Malaysia, the first thing I could see is probably numbers. China have a lot of numbers, a lot of players, as compared to Malaysia. Because of the population, I believe the population in China is big and huge. So you probably have a lot of players, you have a lot of feeder. Whereas Malaysia, we always struggle in terms of getting more players. More so, unfortunately, with girls. We want girls to come in and play, but usually girls, after a certain age, they tend to choose to go for their studies, and then they drop out from badminton.
So how will you drive gender equality in the sport?
We still want as many girls players or women players into our squad. So in order to drive that, what we do is when we come to talent identification, talent ID, we will invite every state to send their players, and they will send as far as possible to send equal numbers of male players and female players. So we hope by then we will have the same numbers of girls and boys.
We've witnessed some very intense matches between Chinese players and Malaysian players in the Asian Championships and in Malaysia Open this year also. So, and how do you think these regional tournaments can further help these athletes to learn from each other?
I have this saying which I believe strongly, is that competition is always the best training venue. And of course, have the opportunity to play with the Chinese players will definitely help our Malaysian players. Yeah, because I think the Chinese players, the standard are very high. Even the youth, it's very high. So for us, it's always a good opportunity to be able to play with the Chinese players.
So do you think in the future Malaysia and China might set up more joint training initiatives?
We hope so. We hope so. We have not done anything yet, but what has happened actually, not at the national level, but I think in China there are a few provinces have actually come to Malaysia to have some kind of exchange program. So it's more of a province level rather than at the national level. Yeah.
In what ways do you think badminton, the sport of badminton, has strengthened China-Malaysia relations beyond just the sport?
The relationship between Chinese Badminton Association and Badminton Association Malaysia has always been very, very good. We do a lot of collaboration in terms of administratively. All right, it means that when we organize an event, we tend to look at China, how they organize the event, and we use China as a yardstick for us to organize events. So we learn from China in terms, because China has set the bar of organizing very high. So we also try to learn from China. So that's one. Two, whenever the Chinese players come to Malaysia for Malaysian tournament, we will try to assist them as much as possible in terms of helping them in terms of the logistic. And similarly, when we come to China, Chinese Badminton Association does the same to us. So they will help us in terms of logistic. So in terms of cooperation and in terms of friendship, I would say we are at a level that I should say I'm quite proud of.